appreciate the blessings you've given our country. We're thankful for the opportunity and the privilege to serve our community in the capacity we do. And we pray for wisdom today as we make decisions. Pray for our first responders, those that wear badge and uniform. We pray for their safety in all aspects of their work. Keep them safe. Add to this prayer what is like, and we pray it in the name of Christ. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the June 15th Commissioners meeting. In front of you, the agenda and the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
Move to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. We had payroll of $322,476.97. Claims of $462,682.97.
Make a motion to approve the financials as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Sheriff.
Good evening. Evening. As of today, we have 49 total inmates. 24 of those are pretrial circuit, 16 pretrial superior, 7 DOC, and 0 F6. The only thing I have to address with you, we are up to renew both the SRO contracts with Norwell and Southern Wells. We did those, sent them for approval through Ted. Ted had some verbiage changes in it, but in all reality, it's the price that we adjust and go over with them. Norwell has approved theirs. It was sent to you, I believe, by Lisa today for review. Their school board approved theirs. Southern Wells will approve theirs, or it goes up for approval tomorrow night at their Southern Wells School Board meeting. So just looking to get approval and signatures on the Northern Wells one, so I can get them back a copy of that. So if there's any
Okay.
questions,
Could we, are you comfortable approving both of those? I mean, you know they're gonna,
with pending that they approve it through their board. Yeah, that'd be great.
okay. Well, then I'd make a motion to approve both of those and the one contingent upon them passing tomorrow night.
Yep, that'd be great.
I'll second that, and I was surprised that Norwell last year was saying they were going on their own, right? This year.
Well, yeah, we were mid-contract. There was a little bit of controversy
Yes, it
last
was.
year. We did put a new SRO in that school system, and we attended their school board meeting last week. They were very impressed with what they did. We're in the works with them on maybe helping them in kind of the avenue of what they wanted to go, but not exactly with, if you read in the paper, we're looking at utilizing a trooper that's retired that's going into the school and us doing some training, and I'll probably cover some more of that. We're working out some details and a memorandum of understanding with the school of how we can provide training and work a partnership with them. And I think in the end, it'll be a win-win for both. We'll keep our SRO in the school, but it is a big campus, and for him to be off campus to visit other schools, it'll help to have somebody that's still in the school. It'll be employee of the school, won't be employee of ours. We're not bringing on any, but we're providing training and stuff to keep certification of a very well-respected trooper that's retired and going into the school system as a teacher. So we're looking to have a partnership with them in that aspect. We kind of talked about it at their school board meeting, and I think all the issues we had a year ago are put to rest. So.
Safe for the kids.
Yes, yep, that's the most important part. So if I can get signatures on at least this one, I'll get this emailed back to the school.
And then, assuming that Southern Wells approves their version of the agreement, we can just have the sheriff bring or present the approved version by the Southern Wells School Board to us for execution at any time in the future. But to comply with the statute that came into effect July 1 of 2025, the commissioners have to execute that, not the sheriff, as he had in the past. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't have anything else.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Witt.
Evening.
Evening.
Do you not have any project updates at this time? Last week, I got the final acceptance letter for County Home Road, and we're going through the process of the closeout. Operations-wise, today we started chip sealing. Jeff Road from the county line to 1,000 South, 500 West from the county line to Jeff Road, and then we made it to 500 East at 218, came up around the curve onto County Home. So we've gotten quite a bit done. We're trying to get about 17.5 miles done this week for the striping contract. So we will finish going up to the County Home Road project in the morning, and then we'll jump up and do 200 North, pretty much from 116 to 450 East, Teely Road. And then we will road the equipment all the way up to the north end of 450 East, where we're going to start at 1,000 North and come back south. That way, if we do run out of chips that we stockpiled over the last couple weeks in between jobs, then it'll be a lot shorter trip down to Mount Pillier for stone. Stone that we are getting out of Mount Pillier seems to be of fairly good quality. It doesn't seem very dusty. It is not NDOT spec, but it is commercial spec. Put down fairly well. And then today, at the same time, we are also running a different type of oil than the guys are used to. Historically, not just this county, but most counties run AE90 oil or AE90S. We are running a CRS2P oil. One's positively charged, one's negatively charged. Don't ask me which one was which. But this oil does not need as many environmental factors to set up. It's more of a chemical break. So this morning when it was fairly cool, it was setting up after we got it done, and we're also running 2 rollers instead of 1. We were into the second roller. The guys, and I wasn't saying anything because this is all new to them, they were thinking it was the greatest thing. We didn't have a lot of bleed through. Don't get me wrong, we had a few hiccups getting going this morning. We took last week to make sure everything was good, but we still had a few things with the distributor. Just got a little age on it, so we had to work through it. But we got going, and it looked pretty good. Pretty happy with what the product was turning out to be this morning and this afternoon. I was on a roller, so I got to watch it all happen and come in behind them.
Did we get any resolution with IMI about having to go to Mount Pillier versus
They're supposed to be taking their 25 cents off the tonnage per ton.
verifying that?
When I get the invoice, because it's supposed to be $14.50, so $14.15,
That covers additional travel, everything.
correct. Meridian Road, we stopped on it so we could get chip in this week. We will go back to Meridian Road next week. We're not going to chip for 3 weeks, 4-ish weeks. We will go back on July 13th, around the 4th of July, the week before, week after. A lot of guys take vacation. So we're not going to run those couple weeks. That gives us an opportunity to take care of a few other jobs that need to be done, so we just don't chip all the way through and let everybody else go. That's kind of why I was also on a roller today. So one of our folks his wife had a baby, and another one lost his mom, so he's taking care of estate stuff. So I hopped on the roller, and boy, could have ran a little bit faster when I was roading from the south end of the county to the north, but it is what it is. Patching operations will commence again as we work on Meridian Road, so we can make sure everything is patched before we go into the next round of chip and seal on July 13th. And then Ted was kind enough to get me a draft of the Equine Power Vehicle Ordinance. I need to finish reviewing that and then get it back into his court so we can circulate it for review and then bring it up for Ted. And I'm gonna use the wrong word on this. What do we call that when it goes in front of the commissioners? A reading?
This ordinance that's being proposed or contemplated will involve a fine and penalties for people who violate. As a result, we need to publish notice of the proposed ordinance prior to any meeting. The commissioners can follow one of two processes. Process one is that there would be a reading of the ordinance at meeting one. At meeting number 2 weeks later, then the commissioners could vote. The commissioners also have the authority to waive a second reading at the first meeting if you wish. In the past, we've always tried to waive that second reading, but that would be up to you as to how you would like to proceed with this particular ordinance.
And the funds from the ordinance from issuing license plates to the horse-drawn vehicles will go into a fund to fund damage to the roadways that they're on. I spoke with Adams County last week, told them what I was doing. They're like, wow, great idea, you're getting ahead of it. And we were kind of behind it because horses were here before they were. So that's my reasoning by doing this, is getting out ahead of it. And so if something does happen, we have something to fall back on in the event that budgets fluctuate. Depending on how populations change, that may not be enough, but we will see how that happens through the future.
Do we know what LaGrange Adams plate charge is?
Yep. We actually use LaGrange's and Adams. I got both of them.
Cool.
Equipment-wise,
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
On that real quick. How did we determine, and just from my own education here, how did we determine that the damage was being caused by horse-drawn vehicles?
so if you go,
And where was the damage kind of concentrated at? That's what I'm trying to figure
Oblique Road and 800 East over on the county line. When you start out on that road, you will see in the center of the road is starting to change colors, get blacker, and then starting to get some depression.
Okay.
And then what ends up happening is the horseshoes, so it's a different type of dynamic on the pavement surface. Most people think it's the wheels on the buggies because they're so thin. But the horses start to pound into it, and now most of those horses have carbide tips on their horseshoes, which is a lot harder than the stone. So it starts to smash the stone and to press everything down, and it starts to get what's called a rut or a buggy trough.
Makes sense.
And so one of the ways you can fix that is you can come in, mill it out, put new pavement in there. Some counties come in and put new pavement over it and then chip over it to give it a wearing surface. Elkhart County does that. And they also use a steel slag in their mix, which is why the horses now have carbide tips, kind of trying to one-up each other. It's kind of a pain. Another thing that kind of helps, which is the more expensive option, is called SMA asphalt, structurally modified asphalt. It's kind of like it's used in runways.
Okay.
That's very expensive and not as easy to work with, but it helps. I mean, if you're gonna drop a 747 on it, it's made to take that kind of a pounding, right? So there's a few things you can do. It's costly, and it happens more often. The road wears out quicker.
Are we seeing damage on our roads from other specific types of vehicles right now that we could kind of narrow that down?
We did have an individual come in, actually called us, and I've looked at a road. They were out late, tillage equipment dropped down, and we have some scarring on our roads. If it was on one side of the road, it probably wouldn't be so bad, but when I drove it, they must have been asleep. The only way I can see to really repair it and do away with that is to completely chip it. And you're looking at, materials-wise, a little over $11,000 a mile, and they did it for about 2.5 miles.
They came clean, right? They called you?
Yeah, they came clean, so we're gonna sit down and have a conversation. The one road, the 1 mile, was not on my radar because it was fairly decent shape. The other 2 miles were within the next year or two. My concern is if I go moving mileage around, I'm going to let a road go a year out and get a year worse, which could put us in additional patching. So we could do it this year, but it would be on them to help pay for it.
Should be.
The example you just gave is an inconsistent, it's not something that happens time and time and time again, isn't it? That's just a singular event, or is that capable of repetition?
It's probably more capable of repetition and becoming more so. Farm equipment is getting larger, it's getting heavier. And that's where a lot of folks, I understand that when we go to do a road petition, so we can do a conversion, and we're asking for an additional right-of-way, the understanding isn't really there. Our gravel has been on the surface or on our roadways since the 1800s. And for years, that was probably great, but the equipment's gotten heavier, semi-trucks are getting larger. Just the other week, coming into work, I got behind a couple of triaxle grain trucks with Michigan plates. They were on state routes, they can stay on state routes. But I could see that not too far away. The larger cattle operations, the large equipment hauling manure is doing additional damage. Well, we need the 30 feet to be able to widen it out, get our slopes safe, because we need to bring in probably another, could be up to another foot of stone to help hold the load. 600 East is probably the best example of that, where one layer of chip and seal on the existing thickness that will continue to blow out.
It's weight related.
Yeah, that's the biggest piece of it, is weight.
It's the routes they take from the CAFO out to disperse.
Well, it's that, and it's everyone in the fall when they're harvesting, right?
Yeah.
Now you see, when they start parking on the sides of the road too, depending on how thick that edge is, that's where we see a lot of our edges break off. It's the grain trucks, it's the semis loaded down in the spring with fertilizer or herbicide. It's a decent amount of weight. I mean, everything's getting bigger.
Adams Street was built for an extra heavy load, and it's already washed out.
So I was a part of that project when it was in development for the city, and I drove a 2007 Malibu down it to check on a few things, and I was scared to drive it because I thought the center of with the wheel ruts, I was gonna drag the bottom of the car. That's probably a really, really good example, right? Because it probably wasn't built up heavy enough.
Gotcha.
Those are the types of things we could possibly see in the future.
So, due to your estimation, you're saying we are seeing some more like weight-related degradation to our roads, probably more than about anything, or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that's probably the most of it. Guys accidentally hitting a lever, the hydraulics on the tractor to drop a implement's less likely, but it does happen from time to time.
We were on that, was it an implement, a tow behind implement that hit the truck?
So that was, and I was gonna get to that, I apologize I didn't make it on here because I did this last week, so I knew I was gonna have a busy Thursday and today. Yes, so it was a knife for an anhydrous tank. It was folded up. Our guy got all the way over it and waited on him to pass, and he still clipped our mirror. He did not wish to turn it into insurance, so he brought us a check last week, so we have that. The mirror is ordered. That was $875 and change.
That's a perfect example, that they're so wide. I passed this spray unit today, pulled way over, like 6 feet over off into the grass. He still barely made it past me.
So that's one of the reasons we're doing a little bit of a ditch relocation on 450 East. The closer you get to the John Deere dealer, everyone's taking that one route, right? So kind of to help that out, we're gonna move that ditch slope back, move that ditch back. It's not gonna solve a complete issue, but we'll be able to maintain a slope. You can see the lug marks from the tractor tires or treads if it's tracked tractor, and we'll continue to see that. 20-foot wide may quickly become obsolete, I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's coming out of Moline, Illinois or the other.
It's not beating on the farming community, it's just the fact that we've gotta adapt our roads to help them be able to move their
Correct.
implements up and down the road.
Yeah, if our community needs, something done to the road so we can resist the extra weight, and we're not evolving quick enough, like, I agree, we need to know that.
Some of the things we can do, and that's where the force feed loader came in, we gotta get the water away from the road to keep it dry.
Right.
So a couple of things I've been stressing with my team, and I took it from working with the railroad. It's the 3 M's: manpower, machinery, materials. We gotta take care of our people, we gotta take care of our equipment next, and then materials, because there's a lot of work we can do that doesn't require materials.
Right.
That's your ditching, that's your shoulder clipping, things of that nature that we can do to help get us by longer. Budgets fluctuate, budgets change. And so I'm just trying to stress with them of being able to be prepared in the event that a budget changes to where we need to be able to, we just maintain, right? So we have to be able to maintain at or at better quality. And the status quo, maintaining as is, may mean we got to get better because the farming equipment has changed. So we have to be prepared for that. I don't know what all that means, but we have to be prepared to do so. Ditching, we may have to do a little bit better job of ditching, maintain our ditches. I went out and talked to one farmer. I said, hey, just so you know, I said, if you see some stakes out there, it might be because I've got to come out and replace some pipes and redo some ditching. That's one of the things that's hurting us too is I get an extra row of corn, it's going to bring an extra $20. But from a tax liability, I guess, I'm going to need more tax money to maintain that road because the water's got nowhere to go.
Makes sense.
A good,
Analogy.
yeah, a good way to talk to them when we're looking for right-of-way. Because the right-of-way helps them get bigger equipment down the road that helps them get better yield or time in the field or whatever. It's a give-take.
Sure, and I get that same individual doesn't want to do petitions, but like I told him, I said, hey, I just need to know where I can't go, right? I need to stay in my right-of-way. I need to
Right.
figure out how I can maintain what I have.
So I absolutely believe that if we have unique vehicles that are causing some other type of damage and we need to look at some way to offset that cost of repair, my only feeling is, are we looking at something that's maybe a very small part of the problem? We need to expand our view and I guess better understand what's going on and look at some other options also.
We can do that. I think that's a valid point.
Okay. I mean, that's just my only thought. But of course, you guys, I'd like to know what you think too. Instead of eating up another, whatever, 20 minutes on it, but I think it's an important subject.
We gotta figure out what's causing the damage and this probably won't go over well, but you look at harvest season, there's trucks I follow down to the ethanol plant that look like they have flat tires till they don't. So weight restrictions needs to be, I don't know how you do that or how we enforce those. but
Well, it's
we
definitely
can't
not,
put a lot of-
right, it's not just pointing the finger at our own community, because we got a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
that come
Mitch,
across
could you-
county lines, so like, yeah.
You're kind of this is kind of the same boat that the NDOT is seeing with like I-70. And I'm just as guilty, right? So my family's from St. Louis. I fill up in Terre Haute. I don't buy a dime of gas in Illinois because it's too high, right? And when I come back across, I fill up before I cross the Mississippi. And so it's kind of the same thing, right? They filled up in Allen County, Huntington County, Wabash County, whatever that is, before they drove over here, and they went back on the same tank of gas. So, yeah.
Makes sense. Well, thank you.
Yep. The 4-post lift was installed today. We now need to get the permanent electric and air hooked up to it. They were in this morning, got it completed. Looks good. It's right where we wanted it. Concrete was thick enough. We kind of were a little bit concerned on what that was going to look like when they put in the anchors, but they got it in today. And then we had a new driver start today. I'm going to apologize to the young man tomorrow when I see him because I was out on the roller today. I didn't go to the office. I went straight to the equipment so we could get done. So we got him squared away, I believe, with Human Resources and got him started on a CDL. And then I'm going to apologize. Ted, did we have any right-of-ways? I did not have any from us.
We do not.
That's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Matt.
Pretty light agenda for me this evening. I've got a boatload of permits sitting on my desk, ready to bring to a meeting, but they're lagging behind on sending in their permitting fees and bonding materials. And I let them know that last week. I did receive a few more checks in the mail today, but still no bonding materials from this particular utility. So I let them know that I'm ready to take them to a meeting for approval once I have everything I need, but I'm not gonna have a whole bunch of them in varying degrees of process. It just gets too hard to track. The Liberty Center paving project that I brought up at the last meeting, we went ahead and put that out for bid advertisement. It ran in the paper last week. It should do so again this week. And we plan to have a bid opening on July 1st at 1 p.m. out at the County Highway Garage. As far as project updates, Bridge 71, which is on 200 West over Rock Creek, started last week. That's the first picture you can see there. They did removal of the two north spans of that bridge before the end of the week last week. And then stopped out at Bridge 54 late last week, and they had pushed off the deck pour just with it being super hot and pop-up thunderstorms and stuff last week. They weren't sure if they could get the whole thing poured without Mother Nature interfering. So got a picture from last Friday there. All the deck steel is in place, and they've got the screed set up, and they're ready for a pour tomorrow. So if you're down that way, feel free to stop out and watch the guys working. But that's all I've got for this week.
Nice.
That's it.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, Nate.
Right, so in front of you, I talked to Ryan Bennett. He's kind of heading up the generator replacement for this building. So you'll see quite a few in there. I think there's two from All Circuit, one from Felgerhart, and two from Gen Solar Power. So I'll just walk you through them real quick. Gen Solar Power, if you look, there'll be one that's called the Blue Star model. On your front page, it looks like this. And then you'll see one that's the Generac. So the differences are the second Gen Star that says Generac, the Felgerhart, and the All Circuit. Those three are apples to apples. They're a 48, a 45, a 48 kW, 200 amp system. The other one that they supplied is that All Circuit quoted on is 80 kW, a bigger one. And then the Blue Star is the difference between the Gen Solars is the Gen Solars are industrial type generators, where the other two are more residential, high residential type. So it's why they all say 48 kW, or they're not all the same, right? Two are more general. These two are industrial. The two Gen Solars are industrial types. The Felgerhart and the All Circuit 48s are more residential, and then All Circuit gave you a 80. So it's really not apples to apples. The interesting thing is that the Gen Solar Generac is an industrial grade generator, and it's cheaper than all the other ones. So I think it's just because he moves more volume of.
Do we have them servicing this unit over the last few years?
Yeah. Ella, you have some, doesn't he do, regional sewer district?
Does all three of ours.
What's the feedback?
What's that?
Service-wise, quality-wise?
I've been very happy with him. He is thorough. How many guys would think that, hey, these generators need, mouse, poison in it? I would've never thought of that. He said, things like that are, he said, that's a $2,000 wire that feeds from here to there if the mouse gets in there and eats them. So, I've been, he's good on the service and quick.
Have you used any of these at Felger or any other?
I have not, no.
So I've done this once before, not here, but there is a difference between a Generac and a Blue Star. Cost-wise, the Blue Star is more expensive. But if this were just Jeff Stringer picking, hands down, I would go with the Blue Star over a Generac. But I know we have a budget to be at. really say,
But it also has tariff charges and $6,000 for an installation charge over and above, so.
Jeff, I may have missed it, but did they do an amperage study and a use study and everything else before they did that to figure out where we really needed to be?
yeah, we sized it based off the need of the building and
Okay,
some
yeah,
additional
right.
future stuff if we grow it and add people.
With the exception of, get me wrong, AC is not included.
Yeah, there's Ryan. I didn't see him in the back.
And
You got any more to add?
So that the AC and the
elevators, that's what it
are
was.
not included on all of the single-phase generators.
Well, the single phase,
Single phase.
But the three-phase would be everything.
they are.
That's the most expensive.
That's the $80-some thousand one.
But to match what we have now, to stay single-phase, the others are the same. The quote from Gen Solar, the Generac there is an industrial versus the other two Generacs are commercial. So there is a step up even in the Gen Solar Generac.
So I would think, you think about EOC, if we get hit with something hard, much as I like the county garages, it's a pre-manufactured metal building, it's not gonna last. The courthouse, I would question if that would be an EOC. This is gonna be the EOC. It's the only one with a major basement in it. So, again, I would go with, do we want everything to operate as is, elevator, AC, everything, if you get hit with a tornado?
And the other companies would give a quote on the three-phase, if you wanted three quotes of three-phase. It was just kind of something that came up in this whole process.
If we're gonna consider it.
Yeah, I'd say if we consider, we need to have them bid those.
Should we do that? Should we have Ryan request a three-phase quote from the other two?
I believe that if we're looking at running everything, and that's a concern for us, and we want something more robust to be able to handle that, the energy loads, then we better get quotes on the larger one, at least look at it so we know. That makes sense. I mean, if everybody here agrees with that, but I think that's logical. So this would tap into the natural gas then reserve to do that? Okay, so any diesel tanks that we have existing right now, no, that's okay. Do we have generators right now running on diesel that we're replacing? And I assume yes, from reading this.
We are not.
No,
We're not,
what we
okay.
have is natural gas.
It is natural gas?
Natural
Okay.
gas. There were some upgrades needed to run the three-phase, I think. We
Gotcha.
have a
Okay,
two-inch line,
okay.
We have a 1.5.
And the switch needs to change. It's a three-phase switch that we need.
So we kind of went from keeping exactly what we have. We also even looked at downgrading a little bit to see if that was an option. And then the upgrade would be to keep it, or to go to three-phase to power everything.
So let's do this, break them into a single phase. Here's my top three. Go back out and get quotes from the other two for a three-phase.
Okay,
Bring those back and then we can look at capacity
okay,
and price.
fair.
Is that fair? Thanks, sir.
You good with that?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Thank you.
I didn't even look for it because you said you were.
Great. Thanks, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Right. Monthly reports, miscellaneous.
We have the annual covered bridge certification. And it states that we have 0 covered bridges for 2026, which is what we had in the years past.
Make a motion to sign the document that we have 0 covered bridges.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
3-0.
Are there covered bridges going into communities anywhere that we know of?
I think there are covered bridges,
There-
mainly in southern Indiana.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know
No,
that
yeah.
they're being.
It's like they want to make sure we aren't building one?
Think,
Okay.
they don't want any more built or added to their inventory.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you have Parks and Rec.
We have the Park Center. One applicant.
for stepping up and applying. I would like to make a motion to accept him for the position.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
0 on the board. Thanks for serving.
Congratulations.
All right. Anything from the group? No? Nothing? Did you want to talk?
Just give an update on what's going on with the RSD. In the last board meeting that we had, the board discussed sending out the first bill. What they didn't realize is that before we do that, we have to send out a notice saying that we're gonna send the first bill. So, unless Mark Murray's father died, and so, he's out of town. Brooke, not been real responsive today, but I'm sure she'll, get back with us soon. We have the letter drafted. We just need permission from Mark or somebody to send it out. That basically says, we're gonna start the billing in July. So, just wanted to avoid any confusion because, there was a little bit, and it wasn't the newspaper's fault at all.
Holly, you have anything? Lisa? Commissioners?
I do have one thing. Preston, I know traditionally, I don't know if we've ever gotten an update from the board, Parkview. I would love to hear a quarterly report. I don't think we need any more than that, but I think that'd be useful to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like that. From every board, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Would.
Just, yeah. I only had a couple things, just we had a little recognition for the community over the weekend. We had some good turnouts for Bluffton's baseball team, making it to state, and Norwell, even though they made it to semi-state. And then we had E.J. Tackett, or Bullard, win the championship, so just a little recognition locally, so congratulations to them, and hopefully Tigers can bring us a victory this coming weekend, so.
Council?
I didn't have anything. We discussed at the Solid Waste District meeting, an event on June 27th, happening at Lancaster Elementary. Some people might tune in to the Board of Commissioner meeting as opposed to the solid waste, but I'd ask everybody to take a look at the solid waste minutes and meeting for an event on 6/27 occurring at Lancaster Elementary.